Here's how you can stay informed and get involved in politics here in the Buffalo area. There are dozens of activist organizations and community-focused nonprofits and socially conscious clubs that are active in the 716. This is a list of ones that I could just think of off the top of my head that are active right now. Take a screenshot of this and start Googling these groups. If they have a website, check out their website. If they have a newsletter, sign up for their newsletter. If they have social media, follow their social media accounts and engage with all the posts. Ask questions in the comments. Send them DMs and ask questions. Hey, you were saying something about the property tax millage rates. How does that work? Can you explain that to me? There's just another Buffalonian on the other end of the line. They will be happy to talk to you. And if these organizations are asking for volunteers or having an event, go talk to people. Just get the story. Hey, I saw you guys online and you're talking something about ICE and I want to know more about that. Can you explain it to me? Another important way to stay informed is to start reading local papers, local media. Buffalo does have a couple of local cable news channels, but the quality is, a lot of them focus a lot of their time on just fluff pieces. Hey, look at this news story. All the things going on at Canal Side this weekend. And even worse, there's a lot of local news media that just blindly reposts and requotes press releases coming from the police, from City Hall, from organizations, from church groups, without ever fact-checking the press releases. Now, you can learn to spot when this is happening, because the reporters will put some sort of like legalese language in there that like is telling you without telling you. Like if the reporter says, the police state that they suspect the man had a gun, they're just saying, hey, that's what the cops told me. I don't know though. Or maybe they'll say, according to a statement released by Mayor Ryan's office. You can tell that the reporter didn't fact check the statement when they phrase it like that, because they're saying, I'm not reporting this. I'm just reporting that the mayor is reporting this. If you are listening to a news story and you cannot tell if that reporter has fact-checked the information they're giving out, then you got to go back to basics on like critical thinking and media literacy. So cable news out here can be a little spotty and unprofessional, but you got other options. For example, the Investigative Post. The Investigative Post is actually a nonprofit organization that was founded by 2 retired journalists from the Buffalo News, a nonprofit organization that hires reporters to do in-depth investigative journalism in Buffalo. Also, New York State Focus. That's another nonprofit that just hires journalists to do investigative journalism about things going on in New York State in general. But New York State Focus does a lot of stories about upstate New York and Western New York too. WBFO, which recently changed its name to BTPM, is a nonprofit newsroom that's been around in Buffalo since like the 60s or 70s. They're great. And over the last year or so, I've started seeing this new thing of journalists in Buffalo posting news type of stuff on their personal social media pages. And honestly, I kind of like this. I think they do a good job and they get stuff out pretty quick. Nate Benson is like the best at this right now in Western New York. He's a reporter for WGRZ, but he's pretty good. He covers City Hall politics and a lot of Buffalo school board stuff. And I follow him on Instagram, and every day he's like posting, walking around like the hallways in City Hall saying, I just got out of a meeting with so-and-so. But he's by no means the only one. Holly Kirkpatrick is a journalist who lives in Buffalo that occasionally posts news stuff over on her personal Instagram. Ijaz Jassiel is another reporter who lives in Buffalo that occasionally posts news stuff over on her personal Instagram. And as long as we're at it, your town or city probably has its own official social media accounts. Just go ahead and follow those as well, just to keep in the loop. For example, the city of Buffalo has its own Facebook and Instagram accounts, and that's not a place for news, but it is a good place for information. Road closures, when are the public pools opening, things like that. They put all those announcements out there. Completely separate of that, different local politicians will have their own personal social media accounts even when they're still in office. So if you live in Buffalo, the city of Buffalo has its own Instagram page, but also Sean Ryan has his own Instagram page, and also a couple members of the city council have their own individual social media. And of course, anything you read there, make sure you take it with a grain of salt, because just like everybody on social media, politicians on social media are trying to like look good all the time. But I still follow and I still read everything they post, because I want to hear what they have to say about themselves and how they want to spin themselves. But also, let's be fair, sometimes local politicians actually do a good job. And when they do, let's give them their flowers, right? Like the post, leave a positive comment. We want to encourage good behavior, right? Also, all the public libraries in Buffalo have a subscription to the Buffalo News. So any day of the week, you can walk into a Buffalo public library and read like the last week's worth of newspapers. They'll have them stacked up somewhere in there. And then one last way that you can keep in the loop on what's going on locally is town board meetings and city council meetings. Every town and city in Western New York has at least one town government meeting that is open to the public every month. Some municipalities will have a meeting that's open to the public once a week. And even if you cannot attend those town hall meetings in person, most towns record them. Most towns post those videos online, sometimes even on YouTube. Quite a few towns in the area live stream all their town hall meetings online. And even if the meetings are not recorded, all towns are required to post online the notes that were taken during the meeting, the business, all the votes, all the agendas, all the items that were covered. So you can always go there and read old town hall transcripts. I pretty regularly will pull up a town hall meeting on my phone, like on YouTube, put it on 2x speed, put my phone in my pocket, put the earbuds in, and start washing the dishes or drive to work or whatever. Look, you have no excuse not to be informed, right? We are drowning in information and data. We are living in the data and information age, right? The thing is, though, is it's not just going to fall into your lap. You need to be the adult and you need to go out and seek the knowledge. I just gave you step-by-step instructions to become a well-informed citizen of Buffalo, New York. And if you do these type of things that I'm talking about, one day you will be scrolling through Instagram and you will see an announcement from an activist organization that you've heard of before saying they have a protest going on Saturday. And the protest is connected to an issue that you are aware of because you just read an article about it in the investigative post. And you noticed that there's comments in the comment section on the post announcing this protest that Councilwoman Zanata Everhart says she might be there even. And you say, oh, that's actually important. That's one of the city council members. And you'll think to yourself, yeah, that is worth my time. That's actually something I care about and something I can imagine myself getting involved in. You see what I mean? It's like as soon as you understand what's going on and why it's going on, it will become very natural for you to find like the right opportunity for you to jump in and help.